Hello everyone, this is MJPW with another Toy Story 5 product. This is the Playscale Woody by Mattel, of course, because Mattel has everything for the Toy Story 5 line, as far as I know. So this is circulating a lot right now, for probably the wrong reasons, and I'll go ahead and talk about that now. So online, which I'm going to show it right here in just a second, I'll show it. There was a reveal that there was some dolls coming for Woody, and it has a head sculpt that looks just like the toy mode of the first movie. You know, his normal smile look that's like that, right? You know, they didn't really say at the time of like, oh, you know, it's going to be a small scaled doll. They just kind of said that, you know, here's this doll that's also coming. And you could tell that, you know, it didn't have a vest or button as far as I could see, but the head sculpt was, it looked like it was going to be a very good head sculpt for, you know, the movie accurate size. And with that, you know, people can make their better replicas to match more of the actual Woody look rather than the open mouth look that most Woody dolls, if not every Woody doll, except for one that came out during Toy Story 4. So that is that head sculpt from that doll onto a Disney Store Woody body. I've also changed out the vest, the hat, and the buttons as well. But anyways, my custom Woody that's up there, that is the life-size scale. So it's the real world scale. It's weird to say life size because when people think life size, it's like human size, like 5 foot tall, 6 foot, 7 foot tall, 6'7". But yeah, anyway, so yeah, the right scale. So just to kind of give you an idea of how small this doll is, this is the Ultimate Action Woody. By the way, you can watch that video. You can watch the video on both of the Ultimate Action Woody and Buzz right now, or after the video. Very, very fun video. Liked checking out these guys. These are the big collector's item for Toy Story 5. But you can see he's also squatted down. Extremely tiny. Extremely tiny. And, you know, there's other dolls that came out that have a plush body that also talk and things like that. This one doesn't do anything. It just kind of says real feel. It's surprising to see how much box and uniqueness that this has. And whoops. And oh, look at that. There's that render of the good head sculpt. But yeah, like if you saw that, you'd think, oh, it's going to be an actual scaled doll that's coming, figurine. But no. There's also Jessie and Bullseye. Probably won't be getting those, but I did want to show at least one of them off. But like I was saying, I was surprised of how much, you know, the box, like there's so much box. And this is very, very different, obviously, from any of the other packaging. All of the other packaging is that blue, dark blue down to a light blue, and it's got like different symbols all in it. But this is all resembling, of course, Woody's outfit. So it's a lot of box and very small doll that doesn't talk. There is a hole right there in the plastic, if you can see it. I guess that's just so you can feel it. There's nothing else going on in the box, just a little bit more detail. His hat in there, of course. Looks like his boots are hard as well, other than his face, his hands, his hat, his holster. The belt is also a belt, not printed. Vest buttons are printed though. Handkerchief is separate though, and it actually has details, so that's cool. If you're wondering about how much these ran, Woody ran $20. I assume it's probably about the same for Jessie and Bullseye. I haven't looked into them, but I'm guessing they're around that range. But anyway, so I've yapped enough. Let's get him out of the box and give him a closer look, I guess. Alright, I got this little guy out of the box. And I must say, like, when I was a lot younger, I probably would have gone crazy for this Woody doll, because my favorite Woody and Buzz was the small scaled ones that just kind of was more like the movie, but they were just small scaled like these. Like the Burger King Woody that had a voice box that you kind of like, you just pressed it in the stomach, and you know, it said like a quote or something like that. That, and a Buzz that was much like the, you know, the regular old release of the Buzz, but it was like a miniature scale, and his wings, you kind of like popped them into the side. Yeah, that was my combination. And like I was saying, this one would be, yeah, I'd be going crazy for it. But yeah, I'm kind of like surprised about it. I think they would make a incredible amount of money if they just took this exactly and made this a larger scaled, you know, regular sized Woody. Because like, if you look at the hands, they are sculpted and everything just like how a toy mode Woody should be. And obviously his face sculpt is really, really great. It's really unfortunate that it's just to this scale. His bandana is separate on there. It's not printed. His vest is printed, like I said, in the buttons. The belt's got a little bit of detail. It doesn't have the paint on there or the gem. The boots do have detail, but they're all solid, just brown. Obviously the hat was separated. It is like a rubbery material. Got to make sure to say it's a rubbery material, not that it is rubber. His holster is also really flexible as well, and his belt is also pretty flexible. It looks like it could even like pop off of there. I could see a bunch of these listed on Facebook Marketplace in a few years, and they're gonna be missing the hats, and the belt's gonna be gone. I could definitely foresee that. Also, the other thing you can kind of talk about here, so this is the stitching. This is actual stitching. Like, I can feel this. You hear that? Yeah, so while the vest itself is screen printed, or it's not screen printed, I don't know if that's even the same thing. It's printed onto the cloth of his shirt and everything. This is actual stitching for where his, spoiler alert, for Toy Story 4, his voice box was taken out of there and he was sewn back up. But yeah, his arms, he's very like, this is very much meant to be like the Ragdoll type of doll, obviously. Because this is, yeah. And like I said, this ran for 20 bucks. I think, yeah, the quality of this is really, really great. It's just so unfortunate that it's such a small scale. There's no stitching on his actual jeans either. I'm sure there's a little bit of stitching in there just to make it look like the knees and stuff, but that is all printed. It's not like actual jeans or anything. In fact, well, it's sewn in the middle there, but you know. If you wanted to see Woody's head without the hat, he's not bald, not yet. This hat doesn't have the grooves like the running Woody. If you want to see that video too, it doesn't have the grooves in the hat, whoops, like the running Woody, which is fine. I have noticed that the hats are like, you can barely get them on. You gotta like force them, but it's fine. Yeah, I think that's about it for him. I don't believe that there's a name. Yeah, there's no names, just copyright information underneath the feet. But yeah, really, really cool. Really interesting. I mean, I know that he's, this line, the Playscale, is meant to be like for dolls. There's no like Buzz equivalent, I guess. I mean, I guess you can get the interactive figurines of Buzz, or there's also like a $10 variant of a Buzz figure. I guess that can go with these, which is probably what I would have did. But yeah, otherwise, I think this is a really awesome Woody. Like, if you're wanting that Ragdoll type of vibe, it's unfortunate he doesn't say anything. If he did, he'd probably cost a lot more. Like I said, he did run for 20. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned the hat is all one color, as expected. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Let me know what you guys think. I got a lot more on the way, and I got a good bit of videos already up for Toy Story 5, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.